Welcome back. You're tuning in to Financial Fitness Northwest live on 1150 KKNW. We're here to help you navigate the mortgage and real estate market with expert advice from knowledgeable and trustworthy industry professionals. And now in studio, we have Joan Stafford. Joan has been a realtor in Pierce County since 1978. Her identical twin sister convinced her this was a perfect career for them. And after 6 months of hounding her, Joanne, decided to join her sister on this adventure of selling real estate. Selling full-time, it took Joanne 5 years before she felt she truly understood this complex business, and she continues to learn. The changes in real estate through nearly 4 decades has been dramatic. However, there is one constant, which is providing great service and industry knowledge to help people through the emotional process of selling and purchasing a home. That is Joan's number one priority. Neither Joanne or her sister feel this is a job, but rather their calling and passion. I'm sorry. I don't know why I keep saying Joan, but
Your
welcome,
name
Joanne.
is Joanne.
Welcome, Joanne.
Thank you.
Glad to have you on the show.
Yeah. So when did you get into real estate? 4 decades. That's a long time.
Oh, long time ago, 1978.
Wow. That's amazing. And you've stayed in it the whole time?
Full time,
Full time. Wow.
along with my twin, but she's always been in Miami, Florida.
Okay. And have you always done real estate down in, because you're located in Puyallup, right?
Right.
And have you always been down there, South King County, Pierce County? Or?
Yes, I have.
Okay. Wow.
So, was your sister here when you guys started together, or
No, she's always been in Miami.
Oh,
okay.
she has.
Right. And
So, have you guys done any like referral helped? You know, a lot of
We
people,
have.
snowbirds leave here and go there for
just a couple of times,
yeah.
but it's been really fun.
Yeah, I bet. Did she get into real estate about the same time as you? Or
She got in 6 months before I did and convinced me that it was a perfect job for us. She said, you know how much we like to shop?
Oh.
We get to shop for people and houses. And
Oh.
yeah, it's a lot of fun to
Yeah.
help people through that process.
Wow.
So you must have seen a lot of changes over the years.
So many, it's hard to keep track.
Yeah, I can't really imagine.
So much simpler now than it was then.
Really?
Before we had cell phones, before we had computers.
Yeah.
We used to have a book that would come out once a week, once a month, that would show all the MLS listings. And then we progressed to a computer.
Mm-hmm.
So
Isn't that something? Yeah, and like carbon paper. What purchase and sale agreement was probably like a 4 carbon thing or
one page. Yeah, it was one page.
one page.
One page.
Very
Wow.
simple.
Wow. And now it's what? I don't know. 20 pages
25.
or something. 25. Yeah.
And it probably just keeps growing. I mean,
Poor-
the same with us and our
Poor trees.
disclosures.
You know, it's funny. Here we try and be more, environmentally sensitive and do the right thing. And look, back then we were way better on the trees with a one-page document. Now today we have 25 pages. So that's not good for trees.
No, it's not. So how many real estate companies have you worked at? You currently reside with Berkshire Hathaway.
I do, but we were actually the Contact Corporation. Then we franchised into Prudential.
Okay.
And now it's Berkshire Hathaway. But that core of realtors, we've been together for about 33 years.
So you actually never left. Your company just has
Right.
evolved.
Right.
Wow, that's amazing, actually.
That is really amazing
You
because
never hear about that.
you don't. I mean, there's a lot more turnover generally in real estate, at least we find. Most agents have been, through several companies. So what is it that's kept you at your company for all those years?
It's the core people, people that you trust, people who do business the right way. I had some builders that I worked with for over 20 years, and they said that we have a brother that is a jockey, and when the jockey brings the horse in, you don't change jockeys. And so that's how they were with me for over 20 years until they retired. And that's how I'm with the company that I'm with, is that when it works, you stay there. A lot of times people are looking to change companies because they don't take the responsibility.
Mm-hmm. They think
And
the
they
grass
think
is
it's
greener.
the company, right? But it's who you're with.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a team.
I love that. I love the loyalty because so many people are just not
Yep.
so loyal anymore.
On to the next best thing, the new shiny penny,
Yep.
right?
So your sister is in Florida and she has a daughter, right?
Yes, she does. And we kind of co-mothered her, 3,000 miles away. And when she got into middle school, my twin sister was a single parent. And that was very difficult to do. And so we literally traded places.
Like you trade locations?
Like the Parent Trap. She got licensed here in Washington, and I went down there and sold real estate for her. And she came up here and sold real estate for me for a month at a time. And so it was fun. It was fun to have a different career in the sunshine. I could do the business, most of her business on a bicycle, and because she farms in the neighborhood that she lives in. And then she came up here and found out she had to drive all over Timbuktu.
Wow.
Wow.
Could be 3 different counties.
Was that hard selling real estate in an area you weren't as familiar with? Or, I mean,
It's all the same.
Yeah.
Dealing with people.
Yeah.
Different cultures there, but you're dealing with people, and it's basically the same.
That's pretty cool.
What I did learn, motherhood, that is the toughest job. No matter what, that's the toughest job in the world.
Yeah, I can attest to that.
How old is she now, the daughter?
She's 27 in her 3rd year law school at American University in Washington, D.C.
Oh, nice. I guess she's not going to be a real estate agent and follow in her
You
mom
know,
and
you
aunts.
never know. She
She could be a real estate attorney.
Yeah,
well,
she could.
actually, she found that out when she was taking real estate law. She wasn't interested at all in it. And she goes, she passed with flying colors. It was the easiest. She didn't realize how much she knew.
Wow.
That's awesome.
That is.
So what's your favorite part? I know as a real estate agent, you wear many hats. What are those hats, and like what's your favorite part of selling real estate?
I think the favorite part is when the buyer steps into the home and they know it before they know it, but I know it. I've watched it. And so that joy and that spark when they walk through the house, they go, this is it. This is it. And I've even sold houses from the driveway. They've driven around the house. They get out of the front of the car and they go, you know what, we're going to buy this house. And I think that joy is just spectacular.
Yeah.
You can't beat it.
It's all about a feeling, right? And you're just like, they feel great there and you're helping them find the home of their dreams, really.
Oh, really? And when you are, a lot of times they don't know what they want until they see it, until
that's
they
most
feel
people.
it. It's an emotional decision.
Right.
Buying and selling a home is very, very emotional. They say it's number 3 in the traumas and dramas that you experience. First, divorce, then death, and then moving. And so if you have a client...
That's not good for our business.
No, it's not.
If you have a client that's going through 2 of those or 3 of those at the same time, it can be extremely emotional.
Oh, yeah. We've definitely sometimes said we're counselors more than we even are,
Yes.
lenders, because we are dealing with people at all those times of their life like you are, and you hear so much. Just yesterday I was talking to a client, and she's like, I think I'm oversharing. And I was like, no, you're not. You don't even know.
I know. I actually just said yesterday, too. I said on this one particular transaction, I said, if I could have been paid for the therapy sessions I did, I would have made more money than the actual loan closing because it was a lot.
Right.
But that's just part of our job, right?
It
We're here
is.
to help you, your side and our side. We're both here to help the client through the transaction.
And the best way that you can do that is to stay as neutral as possible. Not getting on that emotional roller coaster with them, but helping them, guide them through the process.
Yep. Exactly.
You've had a lot of experience doing that, huh?
Oh, yeah. Not one transaction is the same.
That's true. That's definitely true. So what about, do you work with mainly buyers, or do you do listings, or both? How's your business? Is it
Both.
split?
Well, right now the inventory is so limited that there aren't very many agents that have many listings unless it's new construction.
Okay.
If they've focused on a particular market. So there are more buyers than sellers right now, which is totally the opposite of what it was in 2008 when we had so much inventory. There was too much to choose from.
I'm just curious, like thinking back over 4 decades of having all this knowledge base, what was your favorite time in real estate, your favorite time period? Because the markets probably have to vary and change so much, right?
I don't know that there was a favorite. When you see the market boom like it did and it was so not real, I just kept saying this isn't real. What is going on? When things are escalating at such a high rate, and then we had the terrific crash. So none of that process was fun.
What about before that even, though?
I know, because real
Yeah.
estate's very cyclical, and I can't really say I know, but but prior to like in the 90s or 80s, I mean, I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure there a similar situation where there was
The
you know,
70s.
70s.
Oh, the 70s and the early 80s were terrible because interest rates, the highest one I ever closed was 17.5% interest.
Wow.
Buyers would come to me and say, I don't care what the price of the house is. Bottom line, what's my payment?
Yeah.
Assumable loans, contract sales. It was a whole different ballgame.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. I mean, we bought our first house in early 80s and it was much higher rates then. So,
But houses were much less, though.
yeah, but people made a lot less. It was all
True.
relative.
Yeah.
Well,
You know?
yeah, but if it's an $80,000 house at 17% interest, multiply that times 3 or 4 at interest rates today.
Yeah.
Except for you can't find a house for $80,000 today.
No, but your payment would be the same if you were paying 17.5% interest times 4. It would be a $320,000 house. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
A huge difference.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of amazing that anybody could even afford a house back then.
Not many could.
Yeah.
And, you know, I remember I was holding 50 listings, and I went down to
50
my
listings.
50
Wow.
at one time.
Wow.
And I was down at my twin sister's office in Miami, and they were going, wow, you've got 50 listings. I go, yeah, but none of them are selling. So
Yeah.
what good did that do?
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
If you can't move the inventory, then
You have to have this, the demand, which we didn't have the demand. We had the supply, which is
Right.
always economics. And right now with the limited inventory, that's why people are bidding on houses, because there isn't any. There's
Right.
no availability. And one of those reasons is because a lot of investors have come up and snapped up the first-time home buying market. And, you know, they're forced to rent. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. And I think downtown Seattle is a good example of it. Things are going crazy.
yeah.
Yeah. Values are definitely going up.
So, what advice would you give someone that's searching for a home today in this market?
Well, find the right realtor, find the right lender.
Yeah. That's good advice.
You need to have some guidance. And first of all, you've got to find out what you can afford. So you need to find yourself a good lender to help you guide through the process. Perhaps you don't have your credit in check right now. They can help you with that. There's ways to build your credit. And I'd say sooner than later, because interest rates are very good right now.
Mm-hmm.
And then find yourself a realtor. And I'm saying realtor, not a real estate agent. A realtor is a member of the National Organization of Realtors, which is, I believe, the only organization in this country that sole purpose is to protect people's property rights. And so if you're looking for someone to sell you a home, a realtor is a member of that organization, and along with that is not only is it money that it costs us every year, $700,000 or $800 a year to join, but you also have a code of ethics that you have to abide by. And if you don't, you have big fines that you're facing. And when I'm talking about ethics, ethics is different than the law. Ethics are being lied to may not have been against the law, but if you are a realtor and if you lie, do unto others as you would have them do unto you is basically what their code is. And so someone who abides by that is going to be the professional that you should be looking for.
Wow. That was a good answer.
Really good.
Yeah, I didn't even comprehend the whole, a real estate agent necessarily isn't a realtor.
So, not all, I guess, my
Less than
takeaway here.
50%. Less than 50% are
Actually,
realtors.
they're actually members of the
National
Association.
Organization of Realtors, yes.
And so they would have that on their signature.
Yes.
Right.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that's really good to know. So look for that, people, when you're looking for a realtor. So what about, let's say you're wanting to list your house right now. Do you have any advice for someone on the other side that's thinking about getting into the market and putting their house up for sale?
It's very important to take a look at 3 different things. First of all, what is your competition? What's out there for sale right now that compares to your home? And then how many homes are pending comparable to your home?
Mm-hmm.
And then take a look at what has sold. And if you can look at those three categories and have an idea where the market is today. And if you are in a situation where there may be multiple offers coming in because you fall into that part of the market where there's a lot of people who want your property, then that's a whole different way to market too. Do you wait and have all offers come in at a certain date, or do you review each one? So it all depends.
Okay.
How is the market, since you're down south, Pierce County, how is the market down there? I mean, I guess my perception is there aren't as many multiple offer situations and so forth down there, but I don't know that for sure. How is the market down there?
Well, it depends on, for instance, if you are close to the train line, downtown Sumner, downtown Puyallup, where people can commute easily from the train, those properties are in high demand. Even in Des Moines, those properties, they went over, almost overnight went up $50,000 because the train stopped right there in Des Moines.
Wow, that's amazing for their values.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I would think that it's probably, I mean, values have gone up substantially, but even in like Pierce, South King County, Pierce County, the $250 purchase price is now like the $350 home.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah, you have to go a lot further south to get a really great deal, right? Or a really lower
Port
price.
Orchard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
quite a ways out there.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for all your information. I know you have a wealth of knowledge, and we probably could talk to you for
Quite a while.
Quite a while,
Yeah.
yes. But
4 decades of knowledge.
yeah, that would take more than the segment that we have. But we really appreciate you being on the show. Thank you, Joanne.
Thank you, girls, for giving me this opportunity.
Sure. Oh, it's our pleasure.
Thanks for tuning in to Financial Fitness Northwest. When we come back from the break, we will be talking with Kaylin Nilsson with Pause about the work that they do. To find out more about any topics discussed on today's show, you can find us online at www.financialfitnessnw.com.